Hello, my name is Samantha Sargent, doTERRA Wellness Advocate, and today's video is for my business builders and educators. I'm very much a list girl, so I'm going to explain to you what this video is about and how you can get some of the resources that this actually goes with. So I have a list of myself, my other things here. I have a similar video than this. The introduction is for doTERRA Need to Know. So if you've gone through that and this seems like it's going to be similar, it's not. So fast forward if you must, or pause and come back. So again, this does go with an email for my builders, and there's about 3 other videos that go along with this, and then a handful of videos that are a part of the list that if we were together in person, we would click on those and watch them in person. I'm going to make sure that you can see that you're watching the right video, but if you have the email, then you will pause this and click the video, and then when the video is done, then you'll come back to this. So if you get lost, no worries. That's why it's in a list. Hopefully you'll print the list out, check things off as you go. If we were doing this in person, it would probably be 2 or 3 sessions, but I'm going to try to go really quickly through them because sometimes we can't get together in person. Sometimes my schedule doesn't match yours, or if I'm out of the country or you're out of the country, I don't want to withhold this information from you. Started, and we'll get that conversation starting as well. So hopefully this explanation will help that. So again, this is a list. You can totally bounce around on this. Always go with what feels good and what you feel like you need at the moment. So when you have this list and you know what's on it, then you can say, I really want to focus right here. And as your upline leader, I'd be happy to do that. If you're not yet a part of the doTERRA team, I'd love for you to sort of interview us through watching these videos, and feel free to call anyone from me or the people on my team, and we can let you know that when you have a membership with us. It's not just amazing oils that you're getting, it's also amazing support and amazing systems and amazing ideas, and it's just amazing. Is that the word of the day? So good. If you hear a lot of things that are repeated, I like to remind people that repetition is good. That's how we learn. That's how we can focus on different things at different times. So definitely refer back to this if you ever need to. Let's see. And my intention is to update these videos and procedures about every 2 years. So if this video ever disappears, just go look for the new one. My email address is oilseducation@gmail.com. And my website is connectingcommunities719.com. I'm a local event coordinator in Colorado Springs, but I work all over the United States and eventually all over the world. I do have an oils tab there that you can see some of the products. So again, print this list that came in your email. If you didn't get that in your email, maybe someone that's not on my team sent this video to you. That's totally okay, but the proprietary information of the email and the list is not in here. So maybe they replicated something, or they could certainly purchase that for me at a very inexpensive price. So that should be good for all my bullet points there. I'm going to jump right into this checklist. So there is a stick with it video. I love this video. I'm not going to play the video on here today, but again, as you have this checklist, you've got the link, you've got it in your email, you can click and go. So pause this and go to that. Here's what it looks like. This guy is just sharing with you his journey about some of the struggles that we have sometimes in having our own business, and why it's worth it to keep going and to always remember what we're doing this for, because we have an amazing product. There's the guy right there. So when you see this, you'll know you're watching the right video. We have a product that is amazing. It's consumable, so people reorder all the time. Our retention rate is very high because our products work and we're surrounded by amazing people. So that definitely helps. Then there is a compensation plan video. So I guess I unshared my screen a little too quickly. So this one is on the compensation plan. So like I said, if we were in person, we would be going over this together. This particular video, I think this one is short, and then the next one is a little longer. So yep, this is a 4-minute and 25-second video. I think it's starting to play, but I did not want it to play. But you can see here, I'll just bring it to some of these. So it just really wants to play for you guys. So you can just see it's just a very clever cartoon here that explains it visually, so that you can see more about the 4 ways that we get paid in doTERRA. and actually some people would say it's really 5. So it just depends on, again, the repetition, and as you grow in your business, you're going to experience different things at different times, and you'll be like, I've never heard that before. But then you'll look back and be like, oh, actually, I do remember that now. So it really becomes more pertinent when you're in that situation. But I like to have the repetition starting now. You get into that, it's almost like you've done it several times. So that's always helpful for me. And then this other one is on the compensation plan. This is a dentist that uses doTERRA, and he always shares really brilliant stories with us and just shares everything in such a great way. So this is also on the compensation plan. So I'll just kind of uh, skip around here on some of the slides that you'll see here. This one's closer to 15 minutes. So again, it's just a really nice overview from a person that's been there, that knows exactly what that looks like. So those should be the main videos that you watch there in the beginning. And then get out your phone, and in your contacts, you're going to want to enter in doTERRA's Business Advancement Team. So their phone number is 801-370-2140, and it's businessadvancement@doterra.com. And I'm going to read the definition of the Business Advancement Team for you. The purpose of the Business Advancement Team is to provide advanced education to future leaders who are currently ranked consultant to premier. If you're not familiar with those yet, go play with your back office. I'd be happy to show you how to do that. That might be a little class that I pop into here for a link. This team is designed to support and empower members interested in building a business with doTERRA by helping them have an increased understanding of our policies and processes to achieve a higher level of success. Hopefully this video will help you with that as well. Once you advance to higher ranks, you will gain a doTERRA account manager to assist you. So when you hit silver, you get a silver manager, and then the gold, premier and silver, and then gold and platinum, and then diamonds each have their own. So it's really nice to have that going for you. So I love to remind people that we can earn while we learn. Elise Chedevy is one of our uplines, and she says that if you know the alphabet, you're already an essential oil expert. So if you have books like these behind me, if you know the alphabet, then you just look things up by the alphabet. This is really empowering to our customers, because if they see us as knowing all this knowledge, then they're going to think that they can never do that. And the fact of the matter is that a lot of regular people are building doTERRA and have sustainable income, and they get to travel and do amazing things and help other people. So that's why everyone is so successful, because we're surrounded by people with amazing products, and that's just going to continue. So if you'd like to be a part of that, then we are looking for you. So earn while you learn. Here's the basic flow, the foundational must-dos to have a successful doTERRA business. So this is something that brand new people do, and this is Presidential Diamond is the highest ranking doTERRA, and this is what Presidential Diamonds are still doing 1, 10, 5 years in. They are sampling, helping people experience essential oils. Do some basics. With doTERRA, you really can't do it wrong. So even if you use an oil that wouldn't normally be your go-to, that person is still going to have an experience. They are still going to walk away with something positive that they had used with the oils. So we sample, we educate, we teach one-on-one classes, we teach continuing education classes. We have materials for them, little A-to-Z guides that cost 85 cents, or the books that are 25 and sometimes up to $30. We enroll them. So the biggest way that we create an income for ourselves and support our customers is through helping them have their own membership. So it's just like a Costco or Sam's Club membership. They can get it free their first year, or $35, and then they can use it every month, or they can use it once a year, or they could skip a couple of years. Definitely the best way is to use it every single month. So I tell people, if you have a budget of $50, you want to change your health and wellness, that can do it right there with $50. You're going to get free products, you're going to get all kinds of interaction that you're just going to love, and you're going to go to the grocery store and you're going to actually buy groceries. You're not going to be buying all your shampoo and your laundry detergent that's filled with chemicals. You're actually going to have products that are high quality and safe for your whole family, and your animals, and everybody. It's so fantastic. So that's mostly how we create our income. There's also some side things you can do that go along with the oils. A lot of chiropractors, massage therapists, Reiki. There's a lot of other businesses, especially coaches, helping people open up, and counselors. It's just unlimited. Anyways, after enrolling, definitely supporting, always offering business. So sometimes people are customers and they have their kit sitting out, and someone comes to the house and says, I need that. Get me that now. And literally they can just pop into their account and sign someone up in 5 minutes. So I do have some videos on how quickly that can take place as well, and how easy it is for anyone to do. And then hopefully you have an upline team that is already doing some things that you can capitalize on. We talked about that in my other checklist. And like I said, there's some repetition in what we do, but it helps spark new questions for you. So the other one is the need to know, and again, this is for my business builders and educators. Convention, get that on your calendar. It's usually in September. This year it is. I'm filming this in 2020. So get that on your calendar. Reach out to your upline. If you don't know how to do that, you can reach out to me and I'm happy to show you how to do that. Leadership, you have to hit silver within a certain time frame before leadership. Leadership is usually in February. I think it's in March this coming 2021. But it's always after convention. So you have to hit certain ranks. You do have to qualify that. So get that on your calendar and make sure that you work your schedule around that. Because if you've earned going to leadership, it's fantastic. You learn so much, and you get just more ingrained. They just did a statistic, and I'm sorry I don't have it completely with me, but those that attend leadership and in-person things like convention, I think they rank 40 times more than a person that stays at home and does everything online, or just stays in their local place. That is a great place to be for sure, but the energy that you have when you go to an event like that is so positive and helpful. So we definitely encourage that. I do have an attachment for those of you that have the email. That attachment is in your checklist. It's in this checklist, so it's a checklist within a checklist. It's called For Builders, Education, and Links. So this is literally like all the doTERRA links, all the social media links, and this list is going to get bigger. I'm going to be updating this all the time. So that link should do that. It's all of our upline social media. It's all our corporate social media. It's where you can recycle your empty bottles. It's where you can find a lot more education that specifically comes from doTERRA. I do suggest to my team to do a letter suggestion / declaration. So a declaration is you want to be known as the oils person. So you want everyone to know what you do. You want to offer them to come to a class, to have an experience, of course, offer them their membership, offer them a business opportunity. And you can't do that all at once. So definitely, a lot of us, we make our list of 100 people that we'd like to contact. And the dentist that did the video previous, if you had paused and watched that, he has an awesome video, which we will get to in a little bit, or it was another checklist, I'll have to look. But he does the buckets and pipeline video. And he said he made a list of 200. He never made it to the bottom of that list because it was so busy for him to do all the other things. And he hit all of his goals without even getting to the bottom of that list. So that's really encouraging for us. And last year at convention, the studies that doTERRA did, only 3% of the United States knew what doTERRA was or had a membership. So we have about 9 million advocates right now across the world. And so there's a lot more people in the world than 9 million. So we still have a long way to go to help people that have never heard of essential oils. So I suggest that you write a letter. Luckily for me, when I started doTERRA, it was in November. We always send out a Christmas letter or a New Year's letter. So I was able to let all of my family know I entered into a new career as a doTERRA wellness advocate. I will be contacting you to let you know what that looks like. And if you'd like to reach out to me before I get to you, I would love to know what your experiences are. That's definitely something we'll work one-on-one. So if that's at the top of your list, write that down and contact me. We'll do that right away. I have a welcome letter. So anytime someone is brand new to me, I ask them if they would like to subscribe to my newsletter that goes out every single month, and if I can send them the welcome letter. And they usually say yes, and it just has some really nice videos. We have an 8-minute documentary style commercial that's a part of that, so people can really get to know who we are, how we use the oils, and how we're going to support them in their journey as well. So that is something I definitely suggest for everyone. And then my welcome letter does have a follow-up letter that is about photosensitivity and hot oils. So I have a really nice customer relationship manager that goes through to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. And if someone says, hey, I didn't get this, I can look back and say, you're right, I didn't. I'm so sorry. Or I can look and say, I did send it on this date. Do you mind checking? And they'll, oh, you did. Thank you so much. Or I don't have time for that. Just resend it, and that's fine too. A membership overview is something that a lot of people call a wellness consult. So for me, a membership overview as a builder is showing the customer how to use their membership. So they had an essential oils experience, they came to the class, they enrolled, and then during all of that, you were learning about what they needed to get their health and wellness goals met, what things in the future, who other people they were thinking about, what they needed. So a lot of that has already been done in the Live Guide. So we have a digital piece to this in the membership overview, and it goes over how to eat right, how to exercise, manage your rest and stress, reducing your toxic load, and informed self-care with proactive medical care. And each page tells you which oils and products can assist you in those pieces of your lifestyle. And then the piece right here is something that usually at a class you would have gone over with them. You would kind of know what their goals are, what products that they need, how they're going to use them, and then setting up how to do that each month in the membership overview. So I don't spend a whole lot of time on this one myself because I really feel like I've already done a lot of this and we're just touching on it for maybe 5 more minutes during that membership overview. And then this whole last page is actually what I mostly focus on in the membership overview because they do know what to use. They do know how to use it, and they are going through and making sure they're maximizing their benefits to get those free products, to get a rising percentage from 10 to 30%. And that chart is in here as well, but with an addition, because I don't put any of the business stuff. I always offer the business. I have little pieces about the business in for customers as offerings because it is our duty to make sure, don't say no to me. Don't say no for me. That's a big theme in my life. There's some people that I would say, well, you never offered that to me. Oh, because I figured blah, blah, blah. Oh, blah. So don't think for other people. Don't say no for them. It's another theme our team kind of says is it's none of my business what you think about me, about this, about that. If we just go through the process, then we are offering it to them, letting them make the decision, and we're not connected to the emotion of their answer or their response. We just thank them for listening and we move on. And sometimes they come back later, I'm ready for that now. Like, sweet, let's go. And then they run with you. It's so fun. Let's see, where was I on this one? So yeah, that's the welcome letter, the membership overview. So if you need to review those again, please let me know. And my friend Audrey did a lesson with me here on my YouTube channel called the Leadership Square. So I reminded my team this morning on our team call that there's L1, L2, L3, L4. And so now we have this terminology we can use. And when it comes to sampling, you might be an L2. But then when it comes to teaching a class, you're an L1. And sometimes you can skip from L1 to L3. If you have the confidence and the capability to do L2, you just go on to L3. So watch that and let me know what you think about that too. Feel free to ask lots of questions or email me. In your account profile, I should probably, I was going to do a screen share, but it's okay. In your account profile, so when you log into your doTERRA membership, there's a box that has your picture in it. And when you hover that, a list comes up and you click account profile. And then on the other side of the screen, there will be a list that says different things, but one of them says my site address. So when you very first get your membership as a wellness advocate, you're automatically assigned an email address. Now you can change that. So if your name is in there and you'd rather it be your business, you can do that. Just know if you change it, it's gonna, you really have to be committed to that. So I left my name. Mine's mydoterra.com/Samantha Sargent. Some people are my.doterra.com/ their name, but you can change that. And sometimes there's a letter because there's other people with that name as well. So you just change it. There can't be any dots or anything like that. But you can also add your picture, you can add an intro and a bio so that people can know they're in the right place when they place their order at midnight. They don't want to call you, and you don't want them to call you either. Also, in that same section where you hover your picture, on the other side, there's something called a link generator. Now, I have lots of little videos about that. Whenever someone says, oh, I forgot how to do it, I'll just pop in and do a live from time to time. I will make it a point to put it on YouTube as well. That link generator allows you to make a cart for someone. So if they're like, hey, I'm a retail customer, I want this, this, and this, you can make that cart for them, send it to them, they fill out their address, their credit card number, and it goes right to their home. You can also do that for memberships. So if you go to my website, theconnectingcommunity719.com, you'll see all the kits are available there, and I make those with the link generator. And anytime someone enrolls into your organization, you get an email, so you can call and connect with them and or confirm, hey, I saw that you got your order done. Well done. Okay, on the checklist here, we have wellness consult / live guide. So sometimes if you did a class and they don't remember and you do the membership overview so they know how to get more products into their home, you might need to make another time to go over this with them. Or sometimes, sometimes I've spent 4 hours with people. So if I always ask people, does anyone have to leave at a certain time? If they say yes, then I get through the material, and then we have our social time, which is really where you learn a lot too. But if everyone's like, I'm not in a hurry, I've spent 3 hours where in one shot we did the class, the enrollment, their wellness consult, and their membership overview. So you don't have to do it a certain way. Do with it what feels good and what they're asking for. If people are asking for certain information, they're ready for it, and I always give it to them. That's a lesson I've learned with my children. I have children at many different ages, and I give them an answer appropriate to their age, and then I ask again at another. It's a little bit different of an answer. So that's kind of how we are all here in doTERRA. We're at different ages in doTERRA. Some people have different leadership skills, and they can teach you things too. So remember to be open about that. Class in a box. I think that we've talked about it in the other one, but it's definitely one worth repeating. It's $25. It's 0 PV, so you don't get a percentage back on that purchase. But you do, for $25, you get $35 worth of oil, and you get worth of wild orange, 5 milliliters. You get 10 of those. You get a class brochure, so you can show people what is an oil, how do you use it, how do you get it into your home. And so if someone needs to take it with them, they can. And it has an enrollment form on it, so they can fill it out and send it back to you. It's awesome. And there's a lot of other goodies in there. They change it from time to time, but those are the 2 staple items. There's usually a live, a share, and a build guide as well. Ask for a price per drop sheet. So I don't recommend this very often, but we have an iTobi. And when people enroll in our team, we do an iTobi, which is the biofeedback. It gives them oils that are very specific to their needs at that moment. And usually we make them a roller ball for that. Well, if someone's not on our team, then there's a $5 charge for that. Or we can, if they want like 10 drops of Melissa, we don't want you giving them like 10 drops of Melissa for $5. So, you can do the cost analysis. And of course, if it's your mom or your aunt or your uncle or your grandma or grandpa, you're probably just going to want to give that to them. That's up to you. But definitely that's why we use our points to do things like that, so we can be generous when we're allowed. So yeah, if you want the price per drop or the inventory sheet at all, I have those. Just request that from me. My team does weekly training. McKay does a weekly team call as well. She's a synergy and life coach, and so she has a whole different skill set than I do. So we have a weekly call on Mondays with her and a weekly call on Tuesdays with me, and you're welcome to both or one together. Also, for my team, I offer you a 15-minute call per week, so just the 2 of us. Sometimes in a group, you can't talk about the things that you want, or there's just not enough time. So we try to make time for everyone, but if you have a specific need, we do those 15-minute calls every week. So just get that into my calendar by discussing that with me, or talk with your upline to see what they can do for you. So again, all of doTERRA's official social media is on this other checklist that you have attached to your email that came with this video. All the Facebook pages. My Facebook page for business builders only is called Sharing Oils Joyfully, and that's where we can just have discussions without putting that in the regular group where we're more so education. So Oils Education Group is for all the customers. So sometimes you'll be in a customer group and a builders group, and that's definitely on purpose. Um, and also, Kay has a team. You can ask about her. She's our upline, Julie and Kelly and Elise. And then when I'm working with people, I usually have them rate themselves on a 1 to 10 rating on their product knowledge and on their business knowledge. And then we can gauge where you are. So if you're watching this, maybe pause it and just think 1 to 10, 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest, and just saying, where do I feel comfortable here? And then we can identify what would help you feel more comfortable, and we'll work towards that 10. And then the same with the business knowledge. If you need to grow in that, of course we all do, and it's constantly changing. So we're all going to be learning new things all the time, but it's good to know where you're starting at. And then the educational literature and supplies. I always do a literature tour. So I do have an, a video like this that gives you a tour of the books. If you give a book to someone, it's very likely, especially the A to Z books, that it's going to end up in their purse or it's going to end up on the counter and they're never going to look at it. But if you show them the value of what you're giving them or what they've purchased, then they really get into it and they look at that thing all the time. I have people calling me saying, I had a 12 or maybe he was 11 by then. His mom got the book, and when I saw him about 5 days later, he said, I read the entire book from beginning to end. That is a 400-page book. He read the whole thing. It was very impressive. And he had fun doing it, and then we could discuss everything that was in there. He definitely knew more than I did about distillation and things like that. So it was very fun. So yeah, explanation tour is necessary. And if you have this checklist, that link is in there. So you can click on that and watch that and check it out. Aromatools.com is a great resource. Oillife.com. You can get literature and supplies in your doTERRA back office. Again, there's 0 PV, but they come in with your LRP. So it's a great way to get things quickly if you're putting that in. Otherwise, I do use Amazon and other shopping platforms. So I buy in bulk. So you can get a better price that way. So keep that in mind. The apps that I love, which again in the checklist, click and go, doTERRA Daily Drop, the adaptive link, which is now a part of doTERRA's piece. And then again, there's just a whole checklist that I have on that. So you can get sample vials, reference card info, business cards. So the last checklist that we went over in the other video was the doTERRA need to know. And that's where we talked about if you have an LLC, so you have EIN, if you have a separate phone number, or how you're running your business, that's in that other checklist. So listen to that one first, and then you'll know more so what to do with your business cards, whether you want a digital business card or a physical business card. You can do professionally made, or for a while I just printed them on my own computer. I like to change them often, so I highly recommend putting a picture on your business card so people can identify you when they see your card. There's zipper pouches, books, roller balls, stickers for the tops and side, spray bottles, and again, check prices on Amazon to see what you can get. Samples. Oh yeah, there are pre-made samples on doTERRA.com. So like the toothpaste comes in a sample squeezy thing. So does the shampoo, and it depends on the year. There's quite a few options that you have there. So keep that in mind. And then picking your path. There are definitely a lot of educational resources. I love McKay's mentoring moments. So if you came into the business right from the beginning, even if you had a customer, the only place to put them is in your front line. The highest rank in doTERRA is Presidential Diamond. That's only 16. So if you have 6 customers, there's nobody you can put underneath them. So you do need business partners, and you can put your customers under your business partners to help with your power of 3, to help with ranking. And there's in the other checklist that we did converse a little bit about enrollership and when to have that be someone else's, when to have it be yours. That's a whole other conversation. So if that's important to you, write that down and we'll go over that. So if you need to talk about, Elise Chedevi has a daily mentor call that is great. And then there's also the sharesuccess.com, there's Edge Success. So those are all great to look at. So go through those and figure out which path fits for you and go for it. I can help you on any of those paths because I've been through all of them. And I love them all. So I probably will have a favorite at some point, but it's also different depending on who it is. So we just need to do what's right for us. If you are a retail store, a chiropractor, massage therapist, if you have a health food store that's a local store, they won't do it for chains, but the local ones they will. There is a retail application, which you can just go to doterra.com and put retail application and it'll be there. Or you can message me and I can forward it to you. Compliance. doterra.com, same thing, compliance in the search box. It will come up with about 6 different things that you can do. I do plan on making a video for that as well, so that'll be in your link here, or you can find it on my YouTube page here. So Power of 3 and Future Rank, again, that's in the reference for checklist for builders links. The one, I call it a warning, but it's a precaution, I suppose. I tell people, don't over focus on Power of 3. doTERRA, most people in the beginning, they do want to do a structure of 3 because you don't need that 4th leg until you're going diamond, I believe it is. Yep. So you don't need that 4th leg. So focus on 3 legs. And then by the time you're ready for that 4th leg, you're at a place where you can find builders and you can build them quickly. And then you very organically go to those next ranks. So it's sort of the business killer. When people over focus on Power of 3, they miss out on ranks. They have a really crazy structure because they're just trying so hard to get that $50 bonus or that $250 bonus or that $1,500 bonus. Just trust the process and go with it. Listen to your upline and just trust. That's all I can say. That's a whole other conversation though. But I have many stories of what not to do because I've seen it happen so many times. It's super sad. So just be cautious with Power of 3. Don't focus on it so much because it will transform. Once you have it set up beautifully, then someone drops their LRP and you feel like you're starting all over again. So don't let it frustrate you. That should probably be my best advice. Don't let it frustrate you. So importance of education on photosensitivity. Again, I said earlier that after people do my intro email, a couple days later they get that photosensitive email. You can just go to doterra.com and search some of that stuff too. So the photosensitive oils are the citruses, and a lot of the hot oils are the herbs, not specifically, but in general. And you'll learn more about that too. So if you forgot where that email is, let me know and I'm happy to send it to you. And yeah, check in with your customers. Make sure that they get this and that all builders know what that is too. We do talk about it in the class, but that's another item that most people can forget. So I remind people that if they want to use a citrus oil during the day, put it on your jewelry, put it in your hair so you can smell it, or put it underneath your clothing, or if you're going to be wearing a bathing suit, then just wait till it gets dark where you're not in direct sunlight. Now I'm going to get real close on the screen here. This chart is almost identical to the one that is in our membership overview. But again, I don't really go into the business stuff with customers because it's too overwhelming, especially in the beginning. A lot of customers are curious, and so they ask, and I'm happy to share it with them. So the only difference is our team strategy. So if you've never seen this, please let me know, and I'll give you the one from the membership overview. But the one thing that we're adding here is our team strategy for Power of 3. So a lot of people know that when they order 50 PV, that they're going to rise in percentage and earn 10 to 30% back on everything they do in a loyalty rewards points order. And actually, the other piece that's in here too is the 100 PV. I'll come back to that in just a second. At the 125, if you order between the 1st and the 15th, you get that free item of the month. And then with 150 is that Power of 3 strategy. So with Power of 3, long story short, you and 3 of your frontliners have to have a 100 PV order or higher, plus the volume of all 4 of you, 4 or more, has to be over 600. So if you do 150, 150, 150, 150, that's 600. So when you've got a solid structure and you've got builders in those 3 levels of your organization, those are the most important levels for your business builders to be. So you can pretty much count on everybody doing a 150 PV order, especially if they're getting their $1,500 bonus. Spending $150 is nothing to that. And then the 100 PV, this is super important. I talk about it in many, many places, but I put specifically here, to receive commissions, always carry an LRP over 100 PV. Before, so in your cart always has to read that. Beware of one-time purchases and seasonal items. So right now we have, well, sometimes the holiday items, let's just use those. You can only purchase them once or once per month, or they can't be put in a loyalty rewards points order because they will sell out and you won't be able to get them every single month. So if you put together a 100 PV order, 2 of those items are a holiday order, after you process your order, that PV drops to the 60 some that it would be. So you have to go in immediately and edit that and put in, my faux order is always 10 lemons. I know I'm going to remember to change it. So 10 lemons, and I take that out. So um, I call that a faux order. That's my faux order, my fake, my artificial order. So immediately following that auto ship, go in and adjust that. So if that doesn't make sense to you, please reach out to me. I'd love for you to get more information. I'm almost done. I just have this whole little bullet point to go over. Um, oh, and one more thing about the 100 PV. So every month, every week, doTERRA runs a report, and not everybody gets a paycheck. Some people have downlines, but they're not interested in a paycheck, so they don't get it. So basically, by having that faux order in, every time doTERRA runs a report, they say if your cart reads 100 PV, you're telling them, yes, I want a paycheck. If your cart reads under 100 PV, you're telling them, no, thank you, I do not want a paycheck. So they run that report. These people are peeled off. These people get paid. So especially if you enrolled and that same day you enrolled 5 other people, your fast start bonus relies on you having an LRP. So a lot of people say, oh, I don't have an LRP yet because I don't know what I want, or I didn't edit my LRP because I don't know what I want. But give yourself time. I have a few tricks for that, how you can make sure you give yourself some wiggle room. So please reach out to me if that's confusing to you, and we will go over that again. So this last piece here, these are other tools, apps, and CRMs, which is Customer Relationship Manager. Chloe, that's a paid app. Essential Prospector, that's also a paid app. Cinduit, there used to be one called Lead Train, but I think that they are no longer in business or they have new ownership. I used to use it. It was really great. I just wasn't getting the feedback that I needed. So I moved myself over to 17 Hats, which I do have a referral link in there. So it is better prices with the referral. So you can go pay more if you want, or use my referral link, and then I'll take you out to lunch. doTERRA does have Amplify, which is with Hootsuite. We also just came out with one called doTERRA Social, and so that you put in one post and it puts it to all your other social media for you. That is a beautiful thing. MeisterTasker is a free one, and I believe they have an upgraded one. Wunderlist is one that I've had a few of my builders use. Trello, I've heard great things for them. Luckily, I never spent too much time putting my info in that before I found 17 Hats, but it did look very promising. MailChimp is something that I use along with my CRM of 17 Hats, but a lot of people use that, and I used that before I had my CRM. So I would just copy and paste all the emails and import them every time. And then besides 17 Hats, I have the Itobi referral link as well. Itobi is the biofeedback so that you can help people know what they need right there. It comes in really handy, especially when you have a ailment right now. We try to do a monthly rollerball for that. There's a whole nother training on Itobi. Slack is a communication device that might come in handy for your team. So you're not trying to do everything in a Facebook page where people get lost or posts get buried. If someone's out for a month, they're not going to be able to catch up. So on Slack, they could. Eventbrite is definitely recommended. I put all my classes on Eventbrite. I'm also an event coordinator, so all my events go on there. So it's really nice to be able to put my classes on there, especially when we're at Honey Tea and Me, which is in downtown Colorado Springs, or when we're at Back to Eden, which is in Fountain, Colorado. Any retail places, especially open to the public for classes. GroupMe is one that I've been shared with before. HubSpot, HUB Spot, Google Hangouts. Send out cards is a really great thing to use to for recognition, for birthdays, for your customers and your builders. That's where we send our Christmas cards. I do have a referral link for that as well. Zoom, of course, a lot of things we do are on Zoom, so you're probably going to want to have a Zoom account so that when someone sets up a meeting, just pop right in. If you need help on that, I will do a training video for us as well. And then now we have a doTERRA app that we can order on instead of the web browser. It's Apple exclusive as of now, but again, this is 2020. Hopefully this video will stand up for at least a few years. So within a couple of months, we'll have the Android version, but right now I just have the Apple exclusive. So You'll be able to use the app to do all your loyalty rewards points orders. It'll have PayPal, so instead of just paying with your credit card, you can pay with PayPal, Apple Pay, Google Pay, all that good stuff. So this is the end of this checklist, which goes along with other checklists and other videos. Thank you for watching, and again, reach out to me if you have any questions or if your team would like the support. I have lots of offerings. We're a doTERRA family, so I'm here for you. Samantha Sargent, 719-310-9211. Thanks so much.